What are some psychological facts that people don't know? 1. Hack for better eye contact. Confident people never steal glances, they look into your eyes. Yes, that's a very famous saying, and the most quintessential skill for effective communication. It exudes positivity and makes you look honest and confident. But many times, staring into the eyes of the person might not be an easy task. People often feel awkward and end up looking here and there, because looking into the eyes makes you very much conscious of yourself and that person, and this overconsciousness disturbs you. So the best way to overcome this is to focus on the third eye, that is at the forehead, slightly above the eyes of the person. By doing this, you're not looking into the eyes yet giving the impression of a confident eye contact. Try it. It'll work out. 2. How to know if someone is close to you. Okay, so this one is a widely observed and felt phenomenon. Most of you must have felt this. Remember, sitting in a group, when a joke was cracked and everyone bursted into laughter? Who was the first person you looked at, or who looked at you? Yes, he/she is the closest to you. It's a proven phenomenon. When laughing in a group, people instinctively look at the person they feel closest to, as they simply can't share the smile/laugh with everyone. Note, it's not for super extroverts who share the same commanding comfort and equation with everyone in the group. 3. People tend to go with the popular opinion to get social acceptance. This is not new. It has been in the psychology of humans since time immemorial, and gone down in DNA. Our subconscious mind, without even our realizing, keeps giving commands to our brain, and we think it to be a product of our mental workout. Since the inception, early men have survived by herding and moving in groups. Anyone out of the group, without protection, was at higher risk of losing life. So becoming a part of the larger group, since then, has always been an inherent trait in humans and gradually formed our DNA over ages. So next time, when you see/hear someone being mass criticized by people, don't believe in it at once. Check the facts yourself. Anyway, checking the facts might put you out of the crowd, which again can be repercussive. But that's why people with higher intelligence and understanding of facts are tagged rebels or evolutionaries by the mediocre society. Moving in groups is easy, standing apart is challenging. Mass media and journalism exploits this psychological hack and can swing election in anyone's favor. 4. A measure of self-esteem. People with high self-esteem never swear in the name of God, relationships, and life. Swearing for them is like giving a hypothetical testament to their statements, which is quite idiosyncratic of imbeciles. However, they never issue in providing evident facts and logics to back themselves, as they neither consider themselves nor others immature enough to be entertained by swears. People with higher self-esteem also care for others. They will never belittle other self-esteem. Only weak or narcissistic people tend to downrate others. When you can't uplift yourself, you belittle others to enjoy your hollow status. 5. Dunning-Kruger effect. This is my most favorite one, which always holds true. It says people with lower ability always overrate themselves, and people with higher abilities always underrate their potential. The very same thing was said in simpler words by Charles Bukowski. The problem with the world is that the intelligent people are full of doubts, while the stupid ones are full of confidence. Intelligent people tend to check themselves twice, even before presenting a genuine fact. There's always a doubt dwelling in their hearts. Stupids never check anything before uttering any kind of stupidity. They simply work on their confidence level, which they have been gifted with since their childhood. The reason behind this confidence is ignorance is bliss, since they never take initiatives to learn something new, so their old biases are never broken and always intact, and they never realize that biases can be broken too. This keeps them brimming with overconfidence. People who are open to learn new things are also open to get their presumptions, biases and past learnings challenged. 6. How to make someone like you. Ben Franklin effect. Want someone to like you? Ask that person for a favor. Yes, this might sound odd, but yes, yet again a proven phenomenon. It's a result of an experimental observation by Ben Franklin, where he made his political arch-rival shed his feeling of resentment towards him. Explaining about this experiment and its psychology will constitute another answer here, so not getting into it now. For readers interested in it, comment section is open. If someone's interested, it'll be succinctly explained there. 7. Winning verbal arguments. When Was the last time you got involved in a sports argument sinking in fan wars and gradually lost your cool? A very general observation. People tend to raise their voice in arguments when they can't raise their logics. This is where the brain of intelligence work differently. They know they can't win arguments against a fool who isn't even willing to listen, but they also know that by entering into the argument, they'll simply resuscitate the dying ego of the foolish person. So they choose to remain silent and listen to their stupid arguments with a very powerful infectious smile on their face. Listening is the weapon of intelligence. That smile is so bright in the eyes that it makes the speaker feel uncomfortable. Remember the first lesson of confident eye contact? Put it to use and maintain that smile in your eyes. You've already won half the battle. This smile must become brighter with the increase in his voice. The louder he becomes, the brighter your smile must get. This gesture by you is going to swallow his confidence and he'll finish sooner than he would have gone. Now, take a long breath, broaden your smile, and narrate your end of logics to him in a very silent tone, lower than your normal voice. It works. Try it yourself. Actually, anger is a fuel which drives your temperament. By letting that person pour his anger uninterruptedly, you simply ran him out of fuel and now it's your turn. Use your fuel judiciously, don't pour it off in a hurry. Smile, smile, and slowly release your words. It's a normal psychology. People feel achieved when their actions affect you. By smiling powerfully even in stressful arguments, you tell them that their arguments don't affect you. This kills their soul and already put you ahead in argument. Note these tricks work only if you have concrete logic in your pocket in the end, else all these smiles and voice modulation will only turn out to be a drama, and also these psychologies are applicable only in ideal conditions. Don't try to implement these tricks if a riot breaks out in your society or when reporting to your boss. 8. Winning textual arguments being a part of many online sports group. This is something I can put my money upon. A well tried and tested formula. The same formula applies here too. Kill their confidence before you kill them with your logics. While online or textual arguments, you aren't listening to the person nor seeing him live, but still the frequency and intensity of texts, their length tell a lot about the mood of the sender. Take note of these things. There are times when situation gets aggravated and the fight becomes filthy/abusive. This is when you have to stop arguing and start enjoying. Yes, you are right. Put a smile on your face and start reading the texts without replying. I won't say leave texting and log out. That's a sign of cowardice. That's simply running away. Keep your app open, put the phone at the corner, and go around your balcony listening to some refreshing music. All this time, when you're enjoying the music and cool wind at your balcony, a stressed up guy is continuously texting you in frustration. Now smile at this fact. Go back to the room. You'll see there are at most 10 texts which could have been no less than 100 if you had plunged yourself into the heat. All this while, when you were enjoying the music, ignorant of his texts, he was continuously texting you and also getting blue ticks but no response. That surely kills the confidence of the person. Now text that person back after half an hour also telling him how you left your phone open by mistake and went around. This will irritate that person when he knows that none of his words were hitting you. 9. Getting someone agree with you. Make the person sit on a chair and stand in front of him. This mentally puts you in a commanding position. Bend a little, put your hands on his/her shoulders while trying to convince. Try it out yourself. Chances are, you'll be through it. 10. Touch of solace. How do you feel when you're in your coldest hours, feeling extremely empty from inside and someone warmly, firmly holds you, wraps his/her fingers gently around your arms, or gives a warm hug? Yet again a psychologically proven fact. A firm hold on your shoulder by your friend makes you feel better. Cuddling releases oxytocin that makes you feel better and relieves you. Taking someone's hand in your hands heals/relieves the pain to an extent. It's a psychological support. No, it won't join a fractured bone or a torn limb, but it will relieve your mental agony. Take care of the good touch and bad touch. Also take into consideration the person you're dealing with, not for pervert males and pseudo-hyper-feminist females. 11. Relationship status. Single intelligent people rather stay single than enter a hollow relationship. Their brain keeps their heart in check by constantly telling it that they've got a long way to go and many better people are likely to come ahead in life. Teenagers in schools, who basically call their relationship partners their hardcore love, simply rule out the possibility of meeting someone even better ahead. Okay, let me delineate it with an example. Suppose you're given 10 specimens in an experiment and you've to pick the best one in the end. If you patiently examine all the 10 specimens, then congrats, you're on the brighter end of the spectrum. Now what would you say of those who, after examining only 2 specimens, fall for it? By this, you're simply ridiculing your wisdom and down looking at the broader aspects of life. Now, wait. This doesn't mean love happens only after a particular age, but people with higher intelligence level are open to the world. Entering relationships have become more of a challenge which immatures take than true love. People with higher emotional quotients are kind, well-behaved and humble with everyone, but they simply don't go around saying they're in love with everyone, as they have the ability to discern between love and basic human emotions. This is where the dormant minds of imbeciles fail. 12. Worst way to express love: refrain from using cliche phrases. Anything, any phrase, any word used more than often loses its meaning. People who don't understand or never fell in love think it's all about saying I love you. Thanks to melodramatic movies, even a 5-year-old kid knows that. This phrase has been so overused that now it's more like a robotic command to tell someone that you love that person, even if you don't love that person. Love must be expressed, not told. Express yourself in your care, in your concern, in your understanding. Validate yourself by putting genuine points. Be honest in your words. Tell him/her about your first meeting, how you felt. Tell him/her about every small thing that you like in that person, about the things that pulled you closer to that person. Note, this cliche I love you will work if you're trying to impress an immature teenager or any grown-up with a teenage mentality, but never will it affect an emotionally stable and mature person. No, he/she won't screw you for that, but will definitely keep smiling on you and at your cute teenage actions. These tricks won't work if someone is absolutely disinterested or uninterested in you. You can't simply go and express your love for Enrique Iglesias and expect him to marry you. But then, again, it's up to your emotional and intelligence quotient. I assume you're not going to hit on a person who doesn't have even an iota of interest in you. That's what immatures do. Remember? Yes, I believe you've already formed a colorful background and share cheerful bonding. Then it's going to be the final nail in the coffin. 13. Are you depressed? This, veritably, is the most depressing question you could ask to a depressed person. Never do that. If you sense someone is going through depression, never directly ask about it. By doing this, you're unknowingly attacking the self-esteem of the person. Instead, make them feel you're always there with them. Loneliness is one of the reasons behind depression, and also, depression leads to loneliness. The person feels there's no one for him, with him. Make them feel comfortable. This doesn't mean you infringe their personal space. That could be even debilitating. Talk to them politely without letting them know you're observing them. Give them enough space to open up with you. Talk about random things, their interests, their hobbies. Talk what they want. Listen to them. Be an ear. Depressed people detest dogmatic people who try to force their words onto others. So the moment they feel you're judging them, they'll again put their heads back into their shells. Motivate them, not in direct words, but by giving them appropriate advice in between of regular conversations, and bringing their life back on track. A bulk of your conversation must be meaningless, about sports, college fun, music, movies, politics, but you know in the back of your mind that you're just trying to make that person comfortable. You're just trying to know that person better. You can't simply straight away talk business to that person and ask, "Hey dude, what stresses you up these days?" He is never going to tell you then. People often share things with only them they feel close to. First, establish that proximity. End of the day, this meaninglessness is meaningful. Again, emotionally empathetic people understand it better. 14. HMMMMMM/yes instead of saying yes. Respond by saying/texting I understand. This conveys a better sense of understanding and brings that person closer to you. Well tried and tested hack. Try it yourself. Remove all those things from your vocabulary, from your life, from your behavior that's become a cliche. Remember? We discussed it above. Is the biggest cliche in texting. Everyone would agree this time. It probably kills the conversation and makes you look disinterested in the game. In fact, sometimes I screw such people up with light-hearted sarcasms by asking them to remove H from, and it sounds much better, but it's more like flirting. So I won't recommend it to the readers here, as it depends upon what level of comfort you share with the person. Both the ends must be sporting enough to take it in high spirits. Or you may tell them not to respond like a Baines buffalo in HMMMS, instead respond like humans in words. Take note of one more thing. If you get 3 consecutive HMMMS, then it's time for you to decently end the conversation. Don't be a parasite. Your self-esteem is in your hands.